So Gemini has this secret interactive workspace called Canvas that completely changes the way that you use Gemini. Instead of just getting a text response from it, you can actually build things with it. Mini apps, working prototypes, playable games, stuff that you can actually click around in and use. A lot of people already know about Canvas, but they just don't understand the full potential and power of it. So today I'm going to show you some mind-blowing use cases for Gemini Canvas. To understand the power of Canvas, let's open up a normal chat on Gemini and we'll send it a prompt. I'll use my voice dictation app to tell Gemini, help me write an email to my boss about quitting my job. Tell her it's nothing personal, I just found a better opportunity and I've actually really enjoyed working for her, but I am giving in my 2 weeks notice. Now notice that when I submit this, it sends me the draft here in the chat, and I cannot make any edits to this. So notice right here that there are some placeholders for like my boss's name and my name and the last date I'll be working for her, and I can't change those. Everything is here in the chat. So if I want to make any changes, I would have to put that in here. Then when it changes up the response, and if I want to see the prior one, I have to scroll all the way back up. It does work, but it's quite clunky and it's very difficult to work with. Let's do the same thing now, but with Canvas turned on. So what I'll do is I'll scroll up to the top and I will copy down my original prompt by clicking this button right here that says copy prompt. Let's go ahead and start a new chat. And this time I'm going to paste in that prompt and I'm going to select tools and I'm going to turn on Canvas. I'm also going to turn on thinking. I have the pro plan, so I get a lot of thinking usage out of Gemini. And if you are one of the paid plans, I would recommend that you use thinking as much as possible because you are going to get better results. Anyway, let's go ahead and click on submit. And you can see it is now creating this side panel with the email draft inside it. What's more, this is an interactive environment where you can actually work with Gemini on your project. So for instance, right here, I can actually delete the placeholder and enter in my boss's name. I can put in the exact date that I'm going to be leaving, and I can make any other changes that I want to make. Once I'm finally done and happy with this email, I can do a few things up here. I can print it and it's just going to print this and nothing else. I can go ahead and share and export it as well. Export it to docs or just copy the contents. And again, clicking this is only going to copy this information and nothing else. By contrast, if we come over to the original one right here, any chat inside Gemini has this copy button right here that will copy down the response. But that's also going to copy down all of this information as well, which is not part of the email. So really, working inside of Canvas like this is a much better experience. The best way to describe Canvas is like this. Regular Gemini is for chatting, but Canvas is for creating. But in reality, that example I just gave you was a very simple one because with Canvas, you can do a lot more powerful things. So here I am inside a regular chat with Gemini, and I started asking it questions about rock climbing because it's my goal this year to start rock climbing. And specifically, we put together for me a training plan to actually get up and running with rock climbing. Now I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to turn on tools and I'm going to select Canvas. And I'm going to tell Gemini, create an app for me where I can track all of my rock climbing progress and training. Let's go ahead and submit that. Now over here on the right, you can see that Gemini is now actually coding this app for me. I don't know how to code myself. It doesn't matter. It's just going out and it's doing it for me. And in literally just a couple of minutes, we now have our new app, Climb Track Pro. Over here, I can log a new climb. In this case, it was bouldering. I can choose what type of training drill I did, my perceived effort, and any notes that I want in here. Let's go ahead and save that session. Up here, I can now see I've completed one total session and one drill. I can see my progress. I can see my history. This is a real functional app that actually tracks all of my climbing. And the best part is I can click up here on share and actually share it. Let's go ahead and copy that link, open up a new tab, and here is my app right here. So pretty cool. Of course, if you want to make any changes to this, you can just tell Gemini over here. So for instance, I can tell it, add some sort of pie graph that actually shows my progress over time, because I want to make sure that I'm climbing at least 7 days a week. So as the week continues and I do more sessions, that pie graph can fill up. And submitting that, it will then get to work and actually add that new feature in there as well. And here is a new dashboard with the weekly goal progress chart at the top. For this next example, we are going to use Gemini and Canvas to help us learn a new topic. In this case, it's rock climbing and all the different terms that you need to know to be familiar with rock climbing. So I'll go ahead and activate Canvas, and I'm going to tell it, I know there are a lot of terms that are thrown around at the rock climbing gym that I don't understand. I want to learn what all of those are. Create a comprehensive report for me with all those different terms that might come up and the definitions of them and anything else that I really know that I need to know to get started with rock climbing. Great. Now I'll go ahead and turn on thinking and submit that. So over here on the right, you can see that Gemini is writing out this very detailed study report for me about what I need to know about rock climbing and all the different terms. So this is pretty useful, but it's not the optimal way of learning. To do that, you want something that's more interactive. So coming up here to Canvas, you'll notice that there's a button right here that says Create. And there are a lot of options in here. Let's go ahead and choose for this first one, flashcards. So if I click on flashcards, we now have rock climbing flashcards. So what is beta? This is what beta is. Next question, what is crux? There's the definition of crux. And you can even track your learning over time to see, hey, did I get this one right? No, I didn't. I got that one wrong. This one, what is a flash? I got that one right. And you can kind of track your learning over time. All right. But there's more you can do in Canvas. So let's scroll back up to the top to the original document and I'll click on open. And this time I'm going to show you what quizzes look like. Let's go ahead and click on that and let it generate a quiz for us. And here's an example of what a quiz looks like. You can answer the question, see if you get it right or wrong, and then go to the next one. And if you get it wrong, it will tell you why. Let's try something else now. Coming back in, let's go ahead and create this time an infographic. And now we got this beautiful infographic that explains the different terminology that you need to know about when you start rock climbing. And the final one that I want to show you is this one right here called Audio Overviews. And this actually creates a podcast with all of this information. I love making these for when I'm on the go. I can kind of do some research, turn it into a podcast, and then listen to that while I'm out walking my dogs or exercising to learn while I'm on the go. And just to give you an idea, this is what one of those podcasts sound like.
It is a pretty weird experience walking into a climbing gym for the first time.
Oh, completely.
You know, it feels less like a standard workout facility and more like you've just stumbled into a foreign country.
Yeah, where gravity...
And you can always, of course, download these or share these. Now, before I show you the next use cases, let's quickly hear from today's sponsor, i10x. i10x is an all-in-one platform that gives you access to all the best AI models for one low monthly cost. When you come over to their chatbot, you don't just get access to models from one company like OpenAI, you get access to all the best models like GPT 5.2, Gemini 3 Pro, Grok 4, and Claude Sonnet. And this is great if you're someone like me who just likes to use the best model for the job. For instance, as a general use chatbot, I love using Gemini, but for any type of writing, I prefer Claude. If you're not sure which one to go with, just leave it on auto and it will automatically pick the best model for the job. Or you can head over to Chat Arena, and this will allow you to put in one prompt and get an answer from 2 different models to see which one you like the best. i10x also gives you access to deep research, which is powered by Perplexity Sonar Pro, probably the best AI model for research. Of course, you also get AI image generation in here with access to top models like GPT Image 1.5 and Google Nano Banana Pro, and AI video generation using models like Sora 2, Kling 1.6, and Veo 3.1. But one of the most useful features is their agents. This allows you to select an LLM and then define a system prompt that will act as the brain for this agent. That way you can interact with the agent and never have to repeat a prompt ever again. If you're not sure how to get started with this, there's a Discover tab where you can see community created agents. They can do a variety of different tasks for you, like generate images, remove backgrounds, and remove watermarks. And then finally, it also allows you to create custom chatbots, which you can actually train on your own data just by uploading a knowledge base URL. The best part about this, though, is that i10x starts at just $8 a month if you go with the yearly subscription, or $10 a month if you want to pay month to month. So check out i10x at the link in the description down below, and thank you i10x for sponsoring this video. Now, you may have seen other videos on my channel about this Google AI tool called Notebook LM. It allows you to create these different notebooks where you can organize different research information. For instance, right here, I created a notebook all about a new climbing gym I'm thinking about opening called Peak and Pivot Climbing. I've uploaded into this the logo for the business, a report going over everything we want to include in the gym, as well as a survey from different people in the community about what they want to see in a rock climbing gym. Over here on the right, I can generate all sorts of assets inside of Notebook LM. It's really one of the best tools out there, but it doesn't do everything. And that's where Canvas comes in, because you can connect Notebook LM to Canvas. And this is one of the most powerful workflows I have found. Use Notebook LM to collect all the information, and then use something like Canvas to turn it into something incredible. I'll go ahead and select here Canvas. And on this plus icon, I'm going to select Notebook LM, and I will choose that notebook called Peak and Pivot Climbing. Click on Add. Now here, I'm going to tell Gemini, create a website for me for my new climbing gym called Peak and Pivot Climbing. Then I'll select thinking, of course, and submit that. Over here on the right, we can see Gemini getting to work and actually coding out this website for us. And in just a couple of minutes, it spins up for you this entire website. And this isn't just something that looks nice. You can actually scroll around. You can see it actually brought in information from the notebook. It didn't just make this up. So this is information from the survey I was telling you about. It says, based on our 2026 community needs assessment of local residents, here's what local residents asked for. That is what we're giving them. We see the different membership tiers right here. And we see information at the bottom, like the contact. It even puts my name in there as well. Coming up here, like these buttons work. I can click on this. It actually takes me down on the page. So there will be a few more steps involved to actually get this deployed on its own domain, but this is a solid first step. And the fact that this can be made in just a couple of minutes using the information from one of your notebooks is quite incredible in my opinion. Now, I've already talked about how you can build apps with Canvas, but it is one of the most powerful features, and it's worth showing you some other cool ways that you can use it. And one of the ways you can use it is to actually copy and iterate on any existing tools or apps. So I found this website right here. It's just some random website that you can use to actually like scan the night sky. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start QuickTime and actually do a screen recording. So let me go ahead and start a screen recording, and I'm going to tell Gemini what this app does. So Gemini, this is a website that you can actually use to scan the night sky to see in real time what different planets are in the sky, what big, popular, famous stars are in the sky, and all the different constellations as well. I want you to pretty much make me this exact same thing for Boulder, Colorado. So at any time I can come in here and see what's in the night sky. And I want it to behave exactly the same way. All right, I'll go ahead and stop that recording. Go ahead and save it. And now coming back to Gemini, I'm just gonna upload that file. Once that's uploaded, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on Canvas, and that's it. No further instructions. I will, of course, turn on thinking. I'm not even gonna type anything out. It should be able to transcribe that, look at what's going on in the video, and actually make this app for me using those instructions inside of Canvas. And here is the first attempt. And you see, it's got the right idea, right? I can like scroll around here. You see some of the stars, but not enough of them. Let's go ahead and click on play. Nothing happens there. So it's the first attempt. Let me go ahead and tell Gemini all the issues that are going on. So this is a good first attempt, but I'm not seeing that many stars in the sky. And the buttons down at the bottom for play and fast forward don't work either. Let's go ahead and submit that and let Gemini hopefully fix them. All right, so here's the latest version. You see there's a lot more stars, and clicking play, it is actually moving through the sky as well, which is nice. However, I'm not really seeing the constellations anymore. Oh, here's some of them. So I'll need to specify and tell Gemini, hey, I want to see more of those constellations labeled. I want to see more of the planets and the different stars labeled as well. But of course, that will take some time just kind of going back and forth with Gemini. The point is you can upload videos and have it create things from it, which is pretty awesome. Canvas is also really good at creating interactive dashboards. So I'm here inside my Google Drive, and I have this document right here that goes over the growth of my new climbing gym over the past year. Now, this is a good chance for me to talk about one of the limitations of Canvas. You see, inside of Gemini, I can of course ask it to create an interactive dashboard for me using Canvas. And what I've tried in the past is to add files from my Google Drive so it can pull information from that file and actually create the dashboard. But every time I've tried to do that, I end up with a result that looks like this. It's just code, and I'm not able to actually see the dashboard itself. I'm not sure why that is, but there's an easy workaround. All you have to do is copy down the information. So here, I'm just going to copy all this, coming back over to Gemini. I'm telling it to create an interactive dashboard for me using all this data, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in. Then I'll go ahead and submit it. And here we can see that it's doing the same thing. It's actually coding this out, but we also have this preview button up here, and that's what we want. Because now that it's complete, it switches over to preview, and we can actually see and use this dashboard. Here I can see an overview, I can then see the memberships, and I can see the financials of the business as well. And everything is fully interactive. I can hover over these, I can scroll around, I can move along the chart here, and I can even see the strategy that I put together for the next year. So dashboards, I think, are definitely one of the coolest features of Canvas if you know how to use them. And finally, you can use Canvas to make games, and you can have a lot of fun with this. It doesn't have to be educational type games, although it can be. Let's just create something fun. So I'll tell Gemini, create a game where there are gold stars falling from the sky that you have to catch in a basket that you move left and right. But if you catch a red star, you actually lose a life, and you only get like 5 lives before the game is over. As time goes on, everything speeds up and goes faster and faster, making it harder. And let's see what it comes up with. All right, so in less than a minute, it came up with the game Star Catcher. Let's give it a shot. Oh, move it with my mouse. Oh, I already lost a life. I'm bad at my own game. Oh my gosh, it's going too fast. Too fast, too quickly. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at it. All right, that was fun. All right, so now I would probably tell it, okay, that's fun, but the stars are moving way too fast. And there also needs to be some sort of penalty for missing the stars as well. And then I'll let it go ahead and make this game even better. I'm not going to show you those results, but you get the idea, right? You can create these fun games inside of Gemini using Canvas. So there you have it. Those are some of the most mind-blowing ways you can use Gemini Canvas. If you haven't tried Canvas yet, seriously, go check it out. It's one of those features that once you start using it, you're going to wonder how you ever got by without it. But of course, Canvas is just one of the many features that are available inside of Gemini. If you want to learn everything you can do with Gemini, click right here. This is my free Gemini course that I've made available on YouTube. So if you want to get the most out of it, click right here, watch that video, and I'll see you over there in just 1 second. Bye for now.